The silver maple is a very fast-growing tree that is frequently used in yards for shade trees and can be a real specimen in the landscape. My name is Blair Glenn, and I am an ISA certified arborist. This is a young example, but they can get very, very large. I've seen them with trunks in excess of 4 feet in diameter and heights as high as 60 to 70 feet with spreads as wide as, I've seen them over 100 feet wide. They're amazing trees. I was looking at this particular tree, and something about it just did not seem quite right, so I took a closer look. My first observation, which you can see on the trunk, are some little marks. I was somewhat surprised because it wasn't a very large tree, but it seems that someone had used spurs to climb up this little tree. The use of spurs is really an insult in our industry. And any climber who cannot get up a tree without having to damage the tree to do so really is in the wrong occupation, because so many of us can climb this tree with very little problem. The transference of inoculants from tree to tree has been shown to be a problem, and the damage can sometimes be extremely long-lived. These marks can open up areas of decay and areas for insects to infest the tree, and it's really a bad idea. You can see all the way up this that the person climbed clear up to the very tip top of the tree with these spurs, gouging their way up to take care of this tree. Closer observation showed lots of rips and tears and a lot of stub cuts. So even though the tree looked apparently okay from a distance, the pruning cuts are quite damaging. One thing to understand about a silver maple is it's an extremely fast decaying tree. When it gets a lot of these cuts, especially topped cuts or large wounds, and the decay is faster than the healing process, you end up with large areas of hollow and weak portions of the tree that can be disastrous. Frankly, the best silver maples I've ever seen are trees that have never been pruned. The thing is, the resulting new growth on these after they've been harshly pruned is often quite excessive, so it appears to the novice that it's okay to do this kind of a harsh pruning. But then the race is on. Will the tree decay faster than the new growth will come in? Will the weaknesses become long-term areas of decline? Will the tree just self-destruct as a result of poor pruning? Now you may be looking at this tree and asking yourself, is this tree really that big of a problem? Well, when you start compounding all the number of problems, the bad cuts, the stubs, the spurs, the fact that this is a type of tree that decays quickly, it all adds up and it shortens the life of the tree. Directly across the street is another silver maple that's about 3 times as old as this one. And this tree has also been cut back severely, primarily because of the power lines, but also because of the house. The base of the tree shows where it's been impacted by a lawnmower, and a closer inspection shows that it is very, very weak and very hollow in the inside. I was able to run a rod up inside there, and it just suddenly went through, and the tree was hollow. Understanding what is right for a tree and what is wrong to do to a tree is the first step in understanding the process. The second step is educating our clients. If a client is afraid of the tree and they ask that the tree be topped and the company that does the process doesn't really care, they're going to do whatever a client asks. But if a client understands that there are right ways and wrong ways to prune trees and understands the long-term ramifications from improper pruning, then maybe we can preserve more of these trees and not have so many long-term problems that are getting worse. Thanks for viewing this presentation. My name is Blair Glenn, and I am an ISA certified arborist.